Hey everybody, welcome back to another review. Today I am showing you a very quick review of this little thing here. This thing is a projector and I purchased this for about £35 off Amazon during a Black Friday deal, and currently it's about £49, but actually the model that's available now that superseded this is even better. So I'm just going to go through this and show you a little bit about this device, as I think it's brilliant and it's a really cheap way of having a projector in your house that's inexpensive but actually does a great job of watching movies and watching programs. And for me personally, I don't have a TV in my bedroom. I've purposely done that, but every now and again it's quite nice to be able to watch something in bed. And just behind me here you can see this wall. This is where I use this to project onto at night, and it's been great just for having something you want to watch in the evenings, especially when you just pop into bed, you want to watch half an hour or something. This is awesome. This is a 720p device. It's also got Wi-Fi built into it. It's also got the capability to project from your phone, so you can link your phone to it and connect that as well. It also has a remote control. It's got a built-in speaker so you can hear things from it, and actually it's more than sufficient in terms of loudness if you're just watching it in a quiet room. But if you want something louder, you can also do that as well. You can plug it into a Bluetooth speaker that it connects to, and that's what I've done, and I'll show you that speaker as well. It's got automatic correction, so it can automatically correct the picture on your wall or wherever you're projecting it to, and you can also control that yourself. So I'll go through all the controls, show you exactly what it looks like, but just to show you what this device and how big it is. So this is the actual control, which is, you can see it's pretty tiny. It's not much bigger than the actual control itself. So it's fully adjustable, so you can adjust this. It's like on a ratchet and it can move around. So you can project it onto a wall. You can connect it to a stand if you wanted to, so you can have it higher up. I just have mine on the floor projecting to my wall, and you can also point it directly upwards, so you can actually point it to your ceiling and you could watch it from your bed or somewhere else. You're lying on the floor, whatever you want to do, you have it point it at the ceiling and you can watch it like that as well. So it's really good in terms of that. It's also got an automatic adjustment, so you can adjust the kind of focus as well, which is good. And at the back you've got a bunch of connections. This one is your power connector. You've got a headphone socket here, or you can plug in a speaker. It's got a HDMI port, and it's also got a USB port. So it's got plenty of ports on the back for extra connectivity. So you could, if you wanted to, connect this to a sort of games console or some other device that has to project to. You could even plug a DVD player into this as well via the HDMI, so you didn't have to have a TV, have a DVD player or Blu-ray player plugged directly into this, and you can project as well. Now the picture quality isn't like some sort of super high-res 4K type of device, although they do sell one as well, and I'll leave a link to that below. But this is more than sufficient for just everyday just watching of TV. I'm not bothered about having super high definition, especially when it's projecting on my wall. But if you wanted something a bit more powerful, but they also have other versions as well, which are the same size but have got more capacity and capability, so it's worth checking that out as well. Now I've been really impressed with this, because initially I thought it was going to be a bit of a gimmick for the price. I thought for 35 quid, how good is this thing going to be? But actually I've used it so much, and since I bought it around Christmas, I've used it pretty much every day because it's just quite nice getting into bed, and I kind of wind down by watching a comedy like The Office or something like that, and just having this for half an hour on, it's great, and it's just a nice way to have something in the room that doesn't take up any space, and I can easily hide it away. And what I've also done as well, I've actually taken this with me when I've gone on any trips, because it's so small. I just pop it in my bag, and if they haven't got like an Airbnb, they haven't got a decent TV, or they haven't got Netflix or anything like that, I use this, because this also has all the apps built into it, like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. So you've got all that stuff. You've got YouTube as well. So it's got so many things you can do with it, and it's really portable. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the room dark so you can see the projection, see the quality. You get an idea of the sound, but I'll also show you all the features that are built into it as well. Okay, so here we are looking at the main screen. When you switch the device on and power it on, this is kind of what you see, or something similar to this. I've kind of got this set up so that it's got the applications that I've recently used. Now apologies for the weird angle, I've just got the camera located in the corner, but it'll hopefully give you an indication of what you can see. So the first thing that you can see is I've got my Netflix, I've got YouTube, and I've got the App Store all along the top. So if you click on the App Store, for example, you can go into this menu here where you can kind of download other apps and add different apps and search for them as well. So I've got a few on here that I use, but other than that, you can kind of do other apps and search for it as well. If you go back, you can see that you can select your HDMI port. So if you had a device plugged in, like a games console or something like that, you could actually select that. You can also insert a SD card. So it's got a micro SD card at the back, and you can go into files and you can click on the internal storage to load something up. So the actual internal storage itself, it's got 2.8 gigabytes. So you can kind of download stuff to it. So you can actually copy stuff onto the projector itself, which is pretty amazing. But you can also read a external memory card, and then at the top there you can select whether you want to look at a video, picture or music, etc. So you can load stuff, you can have things that are, you know, literally on the device itself to watch. And then we've got things like settings. So in the settings, you can choose your Wi-Fi network. You can use Bluetooth if you needed to connect to something. And I use Bluetooth to connect to an external speaker, which I'll also show you as well. You can do the language settings. In other settings, you've got things like different application settings where you can do some resets and delete applications if you need to. You then got some information about the device, the date and time setting, the audio settings. You can go in here, just adjust the volume, but on the remote control itself, there's an up and down button where you can increase or decrease the volume. And then this is quite a good one, projection settings. So this is really important because what this allows you to do is you can do a zoom on the screen. You can change the mode of the projection itself. So if you click on here, you can say that you want it to rotate front, rotate rear, rotate ceiling. So you might use some of these features depending on the angle that you've got the projector at. So if you're pointing at the ceiling, for example, you might want it on rotate ceiling. So it depends on where you've got the projector located. You then got keystone correction. Now this is, again, very, very useful, even though it's got automatic correction built into it on auto mode. So in here you can see I've got it on auto mode or manual, but you can actually go into manual keystone correction, and this allows you to change the kind of shape of the screen you're looking at. So if you needed to adjust anything, you can kind of fine tune it here. So I'm stretching the right. Hopefully you can see that on camera. If I bring it back, it makes it go back to the middle. So you can kind of adjust each corner in turn to get it to fit the location that you got it pointing at. So maybe you've got a projection screen that you might want to point at. You might want to have some keystone correction there just to make it fit correctly. And this is especially important if you've got it on the floor like I have, or if you've got it in a strange angle rather than directly in front of the object that you're looking at. So it's great that such a cheap device has got that built in. If we go back, you then got an option for a screensaver. So if you're not using it, you can have it play a particular screensaver across the screen, but I don't have that selected on mine. And then you got things like brightness and color, where you can go in here and you can adjust the brightness, the contrast, the hue, the saturation and sharpness. So again, it's got some really nice features in for such a tiny little projector. So if we go back out of there and click back again, this takes you to the main screen. So in here, I'm just going to give you, for an example, I'm going to show you Netflix. Now, for copyright reasons, I'm not going to play anything for too long, but if I just show you what Netflix looks like, if you click on the application, you'll get an idea of how long it takes to load up. So this is loading up the Netflix application. You can see straight away it comes up with the Netflix logo. You can choose your account, so I'm just going to choose my account, and then once this loads up, you've kind of got your standard screen that you'd see on Netflix. So I can scroll down here, I can see all the different kind of shows that I might want to look at. So if, for example, I'm going to click on, I don't know, let's just click on something here to give you an idea. So maybe let's click on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And then what's really good is that you can also, rather than just using the kind of command toolbar left, right, up and down, you can also change it to a mouse. So if I click on the little mouse button on the keypad, you can see now I've got a little mouse that I can kind of move around and use as well. So depending if you're using a web browser or something else, you might decide that sometimes you need to use a little mouse pointer. So I can now click on that by clicking play. And again, I haven't got the sound on this, but let's go down to resume. And this is hopefully going to give you an idea of the quality, but there you go.
Things. I haven't known the touch of a woman in many moons.
Sorry.
Detective Santiago! Don't walk away from me!
Going down.
The only thing I haven't got under control is you. But that can be solved. You, my Cro-Magnon friend, are dead. Your family's dead, your past is dead.
So there you go, hopefully that's given you an idea of the sorts of things you can do on this device, and clearly you've got things also like YouTube, so you can select YouTube, you can load your account on YouTube as well. And also just to show you, clearly if you move this manually, you can kind of move it and you can make it smaller if you move it closer to the wall. So I've just got this in my hand at the moment, but you can get the idea that if I adjusted it, I could then focus it in on a smaller spot. Or if you move backwards, clearly it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. So you can have it on a very, very large space, depending on the room that you've got and how you want this set up. The last menu is the cast menu that allows you to choose whether you've got an Android phone, an Apple phone, and you can actually wirelessly connect from your phone to the actual projector, and then you can project directly from your phone onto the screen, which is really, really good. So if you want to watch any applications that you've got on your phone, or directly just look at exactly what's on your screen, like your photos or any videos, etc., you can watch that by casting it straight to the projector. As you can see, this is the remote control that comes with the projector. It also comes with batteries, and you've got the power button here, which you can press and hold, which will switch the projector on. There's also a power button at the back of the projector as well. You've got this button here, which will mute the volume. You've got this button here, which changes the source of what you want to watch. This button here lets you select your phone, so you can do media streaming like I showed on the last bit of the video, where you can choose your Android phone or iPhone. You can then change it to a mouse pointer, so you click on this button here and then use these arrows. You can then use it like a mouse, you can move it around. The upgraded model actually does use a wand mechanism, so you can move the remote around, which will then act as a wand, but that's the version above. I'll leave a link to that one as well. The OK button obviously selects whatever you're choosing. This is a menu option to go into the menu options and choose different things like sound, picture quality. This option here goes back to the previous menu, and this button here always takes you back to the home page, so you can see that main home page that I showed you earlier on with Netflix and YouTube. And then this is the volume rocker, which you can adjust the volume. And the last thing I purchased was this Bluetooth speaker. Now this was really cheap, it was less than £15 off Amazon, but this is really perfect for enhancing the sound, because sometimes you've got a level of fan noise coming from the actual projector itself, so you can enhance that by just having this little speaker. Now it's fine by itself if you've got a quiet room, but if you want to have extra bass and a better sound quality, I do recommend getting a Bluetooth speaker that connects to it. And I said this is perfect, it's really, really small. It's got a 4-hour battery life on it as well, and it charges by USB-C. If you have any questions in regards to the projector or the Bluetooth speaker, please leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you on the next video.